Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the It Doesn't Matter podcast. And we've got myself, Strapbacks, John, and we've got
The Dominican Dream, baby. Defies. Papi Plátano.
There he is. And we have a special guest, and his name is
B to the mother, father, and D to the mother, father, and C.
Mother, Father, indeed. Of course, we have our host of our show. We've got
I am the notorious one. I am Dom. Boom.
All right, we're covering a very special show this week, a very celebrated show, a very popular show, very popular WrestleMania, and a WrestleMania that we were all in attendance for. All three of us were all in attendance for WrestleMania 30, taking place at the Superdome in beautiful, safe, bright New Orleans, Louisiana.
New Orleans, baby.
That's right. So, Dom, what do we got going on with WrestleMania 30?
WrestleMania 30 got X-rated. Triple X, that is. Like my man John said, it took place in New Orleans. And we have Michael Cole, JBL, and Jerry the King Lawler on the announced team. And then we kick off the show with the hosts, the immortal Hulk Hogan.
What you gonna do, brother?
He was hyped. Well, let me tell you something, brother. I want to welcome everybody from the Silver Dome. To everyone watching on the WWF network. Superdome. I meant Superdome. That's what I meant.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm thinking about slamming Andre back in the day, back in WrestleMania 3, and I just can't help myself.
The single worst line I ever heard of a cleanup line ever.
It was great.
It was.
Hey, the fans got hyped. I was
hyped
up in there.
I don't think I've seen.
After this,
yeah.
What? Go ahead.
I don't think I've seen an open of WrestleMania more times than this segment right here. Yeah. It was 40 minutes long. It had no wrestling, but it was something I watch over and over and over again because it features some of the greatest of all time in the ring, and they're doing what they do. They just talk and show their charisma.
Yes. So next person that came out was Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he said he respects the fan. He respects Hulk Hogan for what he has done in this business. Then after that, it was a surprise. We have the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, The Rock, come out in a custom-made tank top or, Under Armour shirt and some baggy jeans. That was iconic. This is an iconic moment right here. Look at them pants.
Look at that iconic heart on.
Boy. The Rock was out there talking about everybody seeing me tonight. You're all going to have some Rock babies. Well, they might be 10 years old about now.
Yep. Sounds about right.
It was a good time. That's how you kicked off the show. Like my man John said, it was 40 minutes, but it was worthwhile.
Yes, it was.
That was a great opening segment. But our first match of the night, it featured John's boy, Daniel Bryan, going against Triple H. Triple H at this time, he was down with the Authority. He was the Authority, him and his wife, Stephanie McMahon. And he had Corporate Kane, Authority Kane, and all that other stuff. But they showed how Daniel Bryan started in the beginning of WWF and how he worked his way up. And because of somebody took his ball and went home at the Royal Rumble in 2014, it was Daniel Bryan's time. So our next match is Daniel Bryan against Triple H to kick off WrestleMania. Guys, this right here, this should have been CM Punk. Everybody knows the story. This should have been CM Punk right here. And
so this storyline was basically for CM Punk. You're trying to tell me?
Well, who knows that it was going to happen, but it was supposed to be CM Punk's role right here. Because Bryan, I don't even think he was a thought. Because like the previous, 2 WrestleManias, he's like getting beat up on either on the pre-show or losing in how long? How many seconds was it? Like 17, 18 seconds, John?
We mentioned this on the previous review of the show that WrestleMania 27 during the pre-show for the United States title was Daniel Bryan and Sheamus, which turned into a battle royal. And then it actually did take place at WrestleMania 28 in Miami. And that was the 12 seconds lost after
the Kiss of Doom match.
The Kiss of Doom. Yes. And they were penciled, Sheamus and Bryan were penciled in for this year's WrestleMania as well for some stupid reason. But thank goodness for crybaby Phil Brooks going home, and it led to what it led to: Daniel Bryan and Triple H in this opening match of WrestleMania 30.
Crazy.
Yes.
Crazy.
If Daniel Bryan wins the match, he goes to the main event to go face Randy Orton and Batista.
And if Triple H wins, he goes gets a triple threat as well.
All members of Evolution. Both outcomes were entirely plausible. You would definitely think that Triple H would want to go over on himself into a triple threat Evolution only main event. You could totally believe that. You could totally believe that they would screw Daniel Bryan once more, but they did the right thing. They did what's right for business. Best for business.
Best for business.
Daniel Bryan won.
Yes.
One of the best opening matches of WrestleMania history.
Yeah.
This match went like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It
was a main event caliber match for the first match.
Yes. Triple H's entrance was badass, man. He came out. He had the NXT girls of Alexa Bliss, Charlotte, and Sasha Banks, and he took the headgear off, and then when he stood up, it was time to play the game, and he brought the fight to Daniel Bryan. And it was a great technical wrestling match.
Yes,
that these guys had. And Bryan, the ultimate underdog, he kept coming back. This man got pedigreed. And, Stephanie trying to get involved and whatnot. It was a good time, man. It was a great feel-good moment for Daniel Bryan for his opening match.
Definitely.
Between Daniel Bryan, Triple H, and the icons Hogan, Rock, and Austin, there's already an hour worth of the show right here.
Pretty much.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yes,
seriously, especially when you're in the building. Abel, you was watching at home. How was it at the time for you? Were you like on the edge of your seat?
Yeah, I was actually on the edge of my seat. I was feeling how the crowd was. It was loud. It was all the way live. And that was I think the first pay-per-view on the WWE Network that just started for $9.99. Man, what a great deal, first of all.
Stupid, that's what it was.
Yes.
Still to this day, man. Still
is a good deal. Peacock.
Still a great deal. Still a great deal. Great pay-per-view to start off that network, man.
$9.99, right? Paying for Peacock now? I don't even approach paying $9.99 a month for Peacock. And that's what the WWE Network sold to. But I digress. I digress. Shivani.
Yeah, there were some times where I thought that, all right, Triple H is actually going to go over when he hit him with the pedigree. And I was like, oh, well, it is what it is, man. They don't want him to get the title. They don't see him as that guy. And then again, he pulls it off again. The psycho knee. What is it? I don't know what it's called at this time. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Crazy.
My memory might be a little foggy, but didn't Stephanie bite it at one point in this match?
What do you mean?
Like what?
Didn't she get taken out at one point in this match?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Like Gangrel.
Yeah. like she bought the big one at one point in this match, and that was pretty much when you knew he was going over.
Yeah, she took a little, not a big bump, but she took an L for a little bit. That's enough to distract her enough for Bryan Daniel. I'm gonna say his
easy for him
name.
BB
Daniel Bryan. Damn it.
I mean, people just call him Bryan. It works for both.
Yeah.
It does.
Hey, Bryan.
We can just call him American Dragon. It was kind of his nickname in both anyway.
Sort of. But that's okay.
We
accept him for who he is.
So after the match, Stephanie slaps Bryan a few times, and then Triple H comes in and takes him out, and next thing you know, he's uncertain if he's going to make it to the main event. He's already taped up, but you already know it's Underdog story.
WrestleMania 4 storyline.
Yep.
There you go. So our next match is a 6-man tag match featuring the Shield of Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns going against the New Age Outlaws, Badass Billy Gunn, and Road Dogg, and Kane with a 6-pack.
Now, I bet this match wins the award for cut time of the night.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I
think that Bryan match went a little too long, and
that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's crazy because, like, I remember this, but then again, like, I don't. Like, I was like, oh shit, I forgot that the New Age Outlaws came back and they made a little run at that time.
What did we do his entrance right?
Nah.
So he said, "Oh, you didn't know," and then they played the music. It's like, what? No.
I didn't like how they came out, then the Shield, and then Kane. It's like that's completely out of order. What the hell is wrong with you?
Seniority.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But can you believe that everybody on the Shield is still dominating to this day? 10 years ago?
Well, technically 2/3, because John has not managed to make his way back on AEW programming as of late, and they're trying to figure out why.
Actually, yeah, he's still dominating. He's just
going a 3-time AEW champion. He's done very well for himself.
I say that to say that he's disappeared off of programming. Yeah, of course he's dominating, but he has not been on programming for a bit, and it's starting to lead wonders as to where he's been, where he's at, because no one really knows where he is.
BDC, I have to disagree with you. John Moxley has opened every AEW show for like the past month. Maybe not the last 2 weeks, but for like a month straight, because Tony Khan probably want to open the show with Wild Thing. And it's kind of like so predictable, but it works.
Wild.
Yeah, he was just at the Sting's last match against FTR.
Yeah, he fought.
He fought at that match because again, I only got because of my wonderful ability to watch the show at the last minute. The only match I got to see was Sting, and then I think the end of the match that was right before that.
That was the world title where Samoa Joe went over, which was actually a good choice.
Yeah,
like I wanted Swerve to win that, but honestly, but we'll talk about that another night.
Yeah,
this is WrestleMania.
It's an AEW show. It's WrestleMania.
Yeah.
If you want to talk about AEW, talk about Billy Gunn, who's still doing it 10 years later.
Yeah, that's true.
How about that? Man's still doing it. He's a trios tag champ, and he's doing the damn thing still.
Tag dude.
That's it.
What was the next match after this?
It's crazy.
Well,
we got two
AEW you guys
guys.
enjoyed that match.
It was fine. It was quick. It was over and done with. There's not much to say.
It was better than the last time we
Kane had a cowlick. What else you need to know?
Oh god. Better than that core match that we saw last week.
All right, so after this, we see some legends. We see that dastardly referee Danny Davis playing Slam City with Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter, and then John's uncle Ricky the Dragon Steamboat came out of nowhere, and then the $1 Million Man came in. Did what he had to do. Bought Slam City. Then Ron Simmons, my man. Damn.
I love Ron. Great interaction he had with him a couple weeks ago. He signed my Nation Domination T-shirt. Still got 4 to go.
Nice. That's it.
Still got 4.
You get rock, you good.
I get rocked then. I'm good.
Could still happen.
It's possible.
Good luck. You gotta pull up on him something.
Nah, I ain't doing all that. I'm not a creep.
She said. All right, our next match is the Andre the Giant Battle Royale.
Who those 3 mystery guys?
Yeah,
it doesn't matter who it is.
They're awful gray.
Must be local talent.
Must be the It Doesn't Matter podcast.
Yeah, it could be.
In shape.
Yeah. I mean, I've been hitting the gym.
Lord.
My lats are looking good.
Wait, can we put that back up for a minute?
Yeah,
can we put that back up for a minute? All right. So let's see.
How
many of the people on this screen are still with WWE right now?
Well, Cody and Drew. That's all you need to know.
Yeah. Kofi,
Cody, Sheamus.
So literally, it is
Ray,
R-Truth, Drew, Jinder,
Heath Slater's on.
Titus to some degree.
No, he's at is he back?
Titus is
ambassador. He's an ambassador.
He's still
in WWE now.
Ambass.
Yeah, he's been an ambassador.
He's been an ambassador for years.
I thought he was in NWA for a little bit. He won the title not too long ago.
Nah, you thinking about Brodus?
Titus.
No, I'm
Brodus.
talking about Titus O'Neil. I'm not talking about Brodus Clay.
Titus.
Tyrus.
Titus,
Yeah.
not
Oh my
Tyrus.
God.
Titus.
Jesus.
Abel.
I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so
Moving
See,
on.
if you gave me the run sheet,
Watch the show, you will know what's going
so
on.
literally under 10. So it's fewer than 10 of those wrestlers are still with the company now.
you like that one?
10
John.
years later.
10 years later, fewer than 10 are left.
No, I'd rather talk about the dramatic fall from Mania to Mania of world title contenders Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger.
Yes. What the hell?
World
happened?
title match at 29, Battle Royal participants this year. You know,
Yeah, that's just.
and
Ugh.
the New Day were in it. The New Day were in it, but they meant nothing at the time. They were not over yet. And then you have WrestleMania 27 headliner The Miz and 29 superstar Dolph Ziggler. You know,
It's crazy looking at this graphic. You don't even see the winner in here.
well, that might be due to the search algorithm.
Who was the dude in the back looking like Willem Dafoe?
Pull that up.
Pull that up one more time.
Between
That's Zack Ryder.
Fandango
That's Zack
and-
Ryder. Yep.
The Hobgoblin, Zack Ryder.
William
Lord.
Dafoe. Wow. I mean, he'll probably take that. He's one of the best actors of all time.
And there's Brodus Clay, future NWA champion.
Tyrus.
And to his right is Christian Cage, who was forced to quit so he wouldn't get hit in the head with Spike. And you have the walking botch in front of him.
Hey, I met the original Sin Cara in Miami.
Mystico.
Us.
Well, wait, what is his name now? Because it's not
Mystico, right?
Yeah,
is
he's Mystico.
it back to Mystico? Because for a while he changed it to a different name.
Mystices.
Somebody else was going as
Mystices.
Mystico for a while.
No, I guess WWE owned the name Sin Cara. So
Yeah, WWE owns Sin Cara, so that's why.
No, he's Mystico again. Yeah,
yeah, he's back in Mystical.
making some appearances on Rampage. It's true.
All right, so back to this match. Battle Royal.
First time ever.
Cesaro with the win.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
After this, Cesaro, they didn't do nothing with Cesaro.
They tried, but it didn't last.
Yeah.
They
Very
tried, it still didn't work.
And yeah, they started
Yeah,
the
go.
women's battle royal, right? But they just took the name away. Isn't that right?
Was this the one?
Was this the one? I thought it was later, but it could be this one because they didn't have a battle royal for the women.
It
Or was
wasn't
that
about
Yeah,
Battle
it was-
Royal?
Divas Invitational.
All right, well,
It was stupid.
whatever.
It doesn't matter.
The inaugural
Cesaro
Andre
with
the
name.
Giant Battle Royal. It started off well, Cesaro knocking out the Big Show with a body slam out the
Yeah.
ring. It was a great moment because Cesaro, during the pre-show, which we didn't mention, there's a four-way tag team match playa. Involved the what are the Americans? Cesaro and Jack Swagger.
The Americans. Stupid.
Whatever the fuck they were.
The real Americans.
Versus the Usos versus the New Day, right? And versus it doesn't matter. But
It
Cesaro's
doesn't
pulling double
matter.
duty tonight, and he won this battle royal, and
Right.
he was over, very over.
Eliminating the Big Show.
That's right.
And on the most recent episode of Rampage, they actually mentioned that he body slammed Big Show out of the ring that he's the only guy to body slam Big Show out of a ring.
Oh wow. Wow.
They literally mentioned that on Dynamite.
They did.
That's crazy.
But
It's-
however,
it's-
my
yeah.
favorite Big Show WrestleMania battle royal moment would take place 2 years later when he went face to face with Shaq.
Yeah. I remember
I thought you
that.
were going to say him and Akibono.
It's like, why is Shaq here? Why is Shaq here? It's awesome.
Yeah.
Did Shaq win that? Or no, Shaq got eliminated.
He got eliminated.
They did
They
that
both got
double
eliminated.
choke spot like, ah, ah. Anyway,
Oh,
one
man.
moment, a good moment for a rising star. We would hope at the time for Cesaro.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So our next match, we have John Cena taking on my man Bray Wyatt. Man, I miss this dude, Bray.
Yep.
It's that guy, but man,
Yep.
This was a good showing for my man Bray Wyatt.
Should have won.
Real good showing.
The very would this count as the very oh Lord, really? Really?
Fertilize his toy down.
Oh, Jesus.
This match also had a pretty cool video package, and
Firefly.
Everyone's got props. I got a roll of tape. Okay.
All I gotta say is run.
Yeah. Every third person in New Orleans was in Bray Wyatt apparel.
Yes.
Which you buy at the airport.
Yes. Would that count as the first first cinematic match that WWE put on?
No, not this one.
Why would you say that?
You mean the Firefly Funhouse?
No. I'm talking about because a lot of the match had to do with they had what? You had
I think you're talking about Randy Orton in Orlando.
No. Because Bray Wyatt had a match with Cena where it basically was, and I think this is the match he lost to get the match later down the road that he won, where he basically destroyed John Cena's mental and beat him in the ring. So I just couldn't remember if it was this match or if it was one down the road.
No, this one was a regular straight up in ring match. They might have had something funky later on, which makes me
they had a cinematic match. If you remember,
that was a WrestleMania 36.
Yeah, when John Cena was dressed up in the NWO shirt, and
that was years later.
So I couldn't remember which one it was.
No one wants to remember the pandemic. That was the pandemic.
That was the pandemic. Yeah. All right, so this match,
that is why
the Wyatt family, the entrance was on point.
Hot.
Yes, it was hot. They had some chick out there shaking her hips like Shakira, and then they got a band performing the Wyatt family's theme song. You got the lead singer looking like Darby Allin, and you got the other dude wearing the mask like Marty Scurll.
Yeah,
it was pretty cool, man. It was cool, man. Next you know, my man with the lantern. Where'd BDC go?
Do you remember at the time the Wyatt's entrance? Right at the time, eventually they all started doing the cell phone Firefly thing.
Yeah.
But before they used to clap, and it was a very timed clap. It was a very hard rhythm to catch for me anyway, because I don't have any rhythm. So, but I prefer like the clap to the beat of the music versus just the cell phones, and it was silent. But that was cool.
But Bray Wyatt, he was a different breed, guys. This man. I love Bray Wyatt, man. I miss this dude, man. He played so many mind games on you, and like when he brought the chair in the ring and he dropped down to his knees. Go ahead, John. Take me out. I'm like, yo, come on, man. And Cena couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But I just love the way the man just worked. Like anytime. Like he'll slam you or he'll do like the running senton. Like he put a little oomph into it. Like every little thing he do. Like just like how John used to say how Bianca got that snap for the KOD. Yes. Bray did that in all his moves. The Uranagi, all that stuff like that. Bray, man, he's something else.
And you hear the stories of all the guys in the locker room, how brilliant this guy was, how loving and caring he was as a family man, but just a locker room. He was like a locker room leader. He took care of the guys. He knew that these guys were he was like what, second or third generation superstar? Third generation. He was built for this event. Not even just event, just for this business. The mind that he had, and he was very young at this time. He's only about 26, maybe. The man was beyond his time, man. He probably would have fit in the Hogan era, and Hogan would have made even more money with him. Maybe more so he did with maybe even Taker. Taker would have made crazy money with him.
Well, think about it. So you had that dude Waylon Mercy, who was essentially what Bray Wyatt started out as, except he took it in a whole different direction, and in a much stronger direction than Waylon Mercy could ever take it. So you already had the blueprint for a character during that time. He could have just fit right in, and especially with his creative mind behind it, it would have played in any of these eras that we're talking about right now.
Go ahead, John. I got other thoughts.
Have any of you ever seen Cape Fear?
Yes.
No.
It's very, dude.
Wild.
I recommend it. It is very good.
Yeah.
De Niro.
Fear?
De Niro's crazy. That's what,
De Niro, one of his finest.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there you go.
It's one of those rewatchable movies, man.
Oh, I watched. Yeah. Anyways. But no, this was.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah.
Well, we've said before what AEW having an influence on WWE a little bit. What would AEW, with the creative freedom that they give to their superstars, what would they do with someone like Bray Wyatt?
They'd be the House of Black.
Oh, jeez.
They'd be a failure. I don't know what's up with that. You know, like in the House of Black, man. When Malachi debuted, oh man, it was the hottest freaking thing.
The entrance was amazing.
I don't get it. Screwed the pooch on that.
And you know what? You know, like this past, the AEW pay-per-view, the big meat match that got changed into a multi-man match, and Miro saying, "I was hurt in September, but I wrestled one match in December, and now I'm hurt again." It's like, you know what? Fuck you. You're fired.
Yeah.
I don't like him anyway. So whatever.
Bye, Miro. It's fine. We got your wife, and she don't even want you. Oh, you didn't know that, You didn't know that,
I know where all the boxes are.
We knew it.
We knew.
Yeah. Anyway,
it was like we got the better one in the relationship anyway. You can go.
I don't know about that.
But back to this match, guys. But
back to Bray Wyatt and John Cena.
Bray Wyatt again ahead of his time. We're gonna miss him and all that, but he still has a bunch of more WrestleManias to go, so we can reminisce then. But as for this match, do you think the right guy won? John Cena beating Bray Wyatt here. Shouldn't Wyatt have won in this match?
I believe Wyatt should have won in this.
Yeah, I think Wyatt should have won this match too. But in hindsight, the turnaround was epic as far as when he finally got his revenge on John Cena. And I don't think it happens without him losing that match. I don't want to say that somebody had the long-term storyline chops to say, oh yeah, we're gonna have him lose here, so the years down the road we can bring it all back. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be all that. I think somebody just got lucky.
Yeah,
but yet and still, the storytelling was amazing for that match, even though the match wasn't probably that good, but it was the storytelling as far as having him lose this match was it worked.
I honestly thought it was actually a pretty decent match. You got
to see a good match.
You got to see a darker side of John that you don't normally see, where he was really fighting his demons, and it's like, I really want to just go dark and to a side I haven't been before. And Bray was like, I see it, John. Come on, bring it out of me.
He kept trying to goad him out of it.
Yeah, so it was the Batman versus the Joker all over again. He's constantly baiting him and baiting him, and then Batman's like, I'm not gonna let him break me. I'm not gonna do it.
John Cena had a T-shirt that he sported. You can't stop me.
Yep,
that's perfect saying for what you guys are just saying right now.
Yep,
you try to bait him in, but no, you can't stop me from being who I am because, I'm John freaking Cena.
I think R. Kelly had the same shirt.
What?
No, he had the Cookie Monster shirt.
There was a Cookie Puss. But don't you remember when John Cena turned evil during that feud with Zack Ryder and Kane? And he made that face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
remember that.
He was like convulsing. Whatever he was doing.
They had to erase it from history. It was so damn ugly.
I was. It really was.
As a matter of fact, there he is.
Oh God.
There you go.
We wanted heel John so bad, but Vince was like, God damn it.
He looks like the bad guy in Ghostbusters.
He does.
The painting.
Vigo.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
Vigo.
There you go. But I enjoyed the match. I thought it was a real good match. It was a good showing for Bray Wyatt. Unfortunately, he didn't get the win, but big match.
Another thing to add to that is like, okay, the main event is going to be with a huge babyface win. You could have had Cena lose here.
Yeah,
you could
have.
Yeah.
Hey, it already happened. Let's move on to the next match, shall we?
All right. Well, before we get to the next match, we got the Hall of Fame announcements.
Segment
2014.
Oh yeah.
We have Jake the Snake Roberts.
Woo.
We have Mr. T.
I love my mama
Paul
very much.
Bearer.
I love my mama.
Oh yeah.
We have Carlos Colon. We have Lita.
That's cool.
We have Razor Ramon. And we have the Ultimate Warrior. That's a hell of a class. That was one of my favorite Hall of Fames I've been to.
That's the best Hall of Fame ever.
Yep, I was there.
We'll never be.
I was there.
Maybe
it was a good one.
Yeah,
until the great one is finally immortalized in the hall.
I don't know, man.
Did we rock
I'm good Hall of Fame.
Wait, did we rock the suits for that?
Yeah, I think like the first like 2 Hall of Fames I went to, like we
rocked the suits for that Hall of Fame.
I think we did.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong, guys.
Yeah, but I think I'm done. Hillbilly Jim, he broke me at the Hall of Fame, man. I can't do it no more.
Hall of Fame is broken.
So here's a story from behind the curtain. So we go to the Hall of Fame, right? Dom knew at that point in time I didn't drink at all. So Dom was like, yo, he's like, let me get you a beer. I'm like, sure, I don't care.
It's bad influence.
So my man gets me a beer. He gets me a beer in 4 steps without breaking stride. I took a sip, looked at it, tossed it, kept walking. 4 steps. Dom looked at me. Dom was like, bro, he was like, I'm sorry. Do you want me to give you? I'm like, nah, dude. I was like, I wanted to try it. It was nasty, dog. It was nasty as hell.
Wasting $12.
4 steps. 4.
Do you drink it all now, BBC?
He handed it to me. I took a step. I sipped on the second step. I looked at it on the third and tossed it with the 4th. You want me to try that next? You want me to try that?
I don't want to waste it.
Yeah, no. That's actually good beer.
But the thing of it is, I do drink. I just don't do beer.
Oh, okay.
I don't do beer.
So one of those.
I figured I would give it a shot.
All right, sure.
I gave it a shot.
Yeah.
That's it. Gave it another shot.
I mean, those. Yeah, we tore up them Jello shots. We tore up them Jello shots. We was walking up Bourbon Street.
Aquafina. Aquafina.
Everything.
Smoked oysters.
Everything.
Yep.
All right, here we go, guys. It's time for the streak.
Oof. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
It's time for the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. Woo. Man, everyone knows what happened here.
That's right.
Yep.
But Undertaker, he came out and his entrance was dope like always with all the caskets, and that last casket said Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
But Brock is being Brock. Lesnar showed no mercy in the beginning of the match. he was throwing Undertaker around, especially with that overhead belly-to-belly suplex.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was kind of like Apollo Creed and Ivan Drago. That's what it's kind of. That's what's kind of. It was similar. We know the ending, but
yeah,
yeah,
there was some real brutality in that match.
I was listening to the commentating crew and just listen to JBL obviously being in the ring with these guys. Just hearing his voice kind of like get uncomfortable, seeing it just told you the story. It's like I was getting uncomfortable, like, damn, man, that Brock is just killing this poor guy. Like, yeah, he's one of our legends and we love and respect him, but he was the beast incarnate, man. He was not here to play. That dude just made everything more real than what it already was.
Yep.
And I still subscribe to that he shouldn't have went over. And that shock just just hearing it coming out of anyone's mouth is just like, oh my God.
Like the way it went down was just like it was just like one gut punch after the next the entire match, just the way that he was being dominated at points. And then just when you thought that maybe he was gonna turn it around, Brock just was like, nope.
Yeah.
And it was wild. It was wild. And I mean, when the pinfall finally happened, I think I literally looked over. I was like, yo, what the, like, holy shit. Did this really just happen? Because that they said it all. Because I was just sitting there like, whoa. Like
that reaction alone says it all. And I feel like even Paul Heyman was like, did this really just go down?
Right. Like it literally, it seems like only 2 men in the building knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
He was not one of them.
That guy was not one of it.
Like it literally seemed like there was only 2 men in the building that knew what was going to happen, and that was Taker and Brock. And nobody else knew.
The sheer silence from the crowd, but yet the quiet from the commentating crew made it even worse because you guys didn't know that.
Right, because it literally felt like the only 2 people that knew that Brock was going over was Taker and Brock. Because Brock, I mean, Taker has said, I wanted Brock to end my streak. He said it. He said as such. So for him to, especially, you're talking about the Mania where Paul Bearer got immortalized in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Oof. And Brock just took him to the woodshed, literally. I mean, it was wild. It was wild to me.
Yeah.
Being in the arena and just watching the pure dominance of Brock just doing whatever he wanted to do with Taker, it was a sight to see. Mm-hmm. But then when he hit that third F5, then you see the 1, 2, 3. Like, it was just pure silence. After rewatching it earlier today, it was still pure silence. And then you hear the "oh my God" from Paul Heyman. You hear that from Paul Heyman, and it's still pure silence. Mm-hmm. And it didn't hit anybody. I know it didn't hit me until I seen on the Titantron when I joined, said 21-1.
Yeah.
And then that's when you see, Brock start laughing and the announcers finally start talking. Because at the same time, they still didn't have Brock's music being played. Like, it was just pure silence. And then after that, Brock and Paul walked to the ring or to the entrance, and Brock turned to the side and gave him a little wink and smiled and kept on going. Like,
that's
like,
why I said
that was crazy.
That's why I said I literally think only Taker and Brock knew that was going to happen. And because it caught everybody off guard. And the thing of it was not even the fact that Taker got pinned, but how he got pinned. Because if you remember, after he took that, I mean, we've watched Taker lose matches. We've watched him get pinned. But when he took that third F5 and Brock went and got his leg and both his legs flipped up, I was like, whoa, what the? I was like, like he was done. I was like, yo, right? Like there was like no fight in him at all. It was just like I'm out.
I believe later on it was found out that he had a concussion during the match.
Definitely not him.
Yeah, I think Taker had a concussion.
Taker had a concussion, so he was out of it.
So I guess a lot of that match was just basically like muscle memory or whatever Brock probably called out to help him out finish that match.
Yeah.
It wasn't one of their best matches, but it is certainly one of the most memorable matches you will ever see in any WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
I disagree because I'm not going to discount anything any of you guys said, especially Dom recapping the live experience exactly as I would, because everything you said was true and did happen. But when I think about the match, I think about how much I didn't care about this match. No one thought Brock was going to win, first of all, because Brock was not the Brock Lesnar you know today was not the Brock Lesnar of that time. He was a different guy. He was wrestling more normally, like a normal wrestler. He wasn't just suplexing everyone to death. He had losses. He lost to Triple H. He lost to Cena, just as a, welcome back to the company, see if you'll do business kind of thing. But he wasn't the Brock Lesnar that he would become. And Abel mentioned Abel mentioning that, this was not the right decision. I disagree with that because it was the right decision. As much as I kind of hate how the Brock gonna Brock, he's just gonna go in and win and destroy everyone within seconds sometimes. I hate that. But if you're just looking at it from a win-loss perspective, he always wins. He always wins. So how can you not like him, right?
That's true.
And also, so going back to it, approaching this match, I didn't see the match the way you guys saw it, as Brock dominating Undertaker for whatever reason, because it was planned that way or because Undertaker got injured. I didn't see it that way. I just saw it as something uninteresting to me, waiting for the obvious finale of Undertaker pulling out a win somewhere. And then of course the finish happened, the one we all know and the one we all talk about. But I just wanted to throw out the thought process before the finish happened, where I just wasn't interested, and I don't think many people were, and the crowd was extremely quiet the entire time because they didn't believe it either. That's what I took away from it.
Do you believe that if that decision was reversed, we would be talking about this match again, or would it just
Undertaker
be
won?
Yeah, we just another.
It would literally just be another match in the streak.
Yeah. Where would Brock become? Who knows?
Brock wouldn't become the Beast Incarnate because that was a huge peg in him becoming the Beast Incarnate was beating Taker.
Whoever decided, Vince McMahon said he made the decision, whether Undertaker chimed in or not, but Vince said it was his call on the Broken Skull sessions with Steve Austin. And
Taker said he wanted to do it. Brock didn't want to.
Yeah, who wanted that responsibility?
Brock didn't want it. Taker wanted it. So if it was Vince's call, then that's how it became Vince's call, because Taker wanted it and Brock didn't.
Undertaker's sacrifice, if you want to call it, it's been 10 years, almost 10 years. Undertaker's one night sacrifice that he had, he built up for what? What was the record? 21 years worth of wins. 21 years worth of wins gave Brock Lesnar 10 years worth of being the ultimate main event player in WWE.
Well, think about it. Think about it. Taker has lost 2 WrestleManias.
And to Vladimir Kozlov one time.
You didn't lose a WrestleMania to Vladimir Kozlov. But he's lost 2 WrestleMania matches. He lost to Brock Lesnar, who would become the Beast Incarnate. He loses to Roman Reigns, who would become the needle mover, the head of the table, and all of that.
The guy behind the Rock.
So essentially his losses count just as much, if not more, than his victories.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because the people that he has lost to at WrestleMania have become mega stars in the company.
And the people he lost to on SmackDown in 2009, irrelevant.
It was a year too late, but I think at this WrestleMania he should have won against Bray Wyatt. it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
It would have been perfect, especially it being in New Orleans. It would have been the perfect.
Yeah.
For that,
yeah.
Would you have had him go over?
Yeah.
Bray?
Bray? Yeah. Yeah, I'd Bray go over.
That would have propelled him to heights he would have gotten to a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Yes, they did it the following year, WrestleMania 31, but the presentation was all that good because of the time difference. It was still daytime when they both entered the ring, but it was a cool scene, or cool showing. But I think New Orleans was a place for them two to happen.
That would have been perfect, especially with Wyatt's gimmick with Wyatt's gimmick as especially as heavy a pull into everything that New Orleans is about that his gimmick was at that time.
Yes.
Yep.
Location.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. All right. So after this, we get the Divas Invitational.
Okay.
And guys, I didn't watch this match.
Still.
After rewatching the show, I skipped this match because I
remember
being that.
I'm thinking, is this when we took the break and we just walked around the floor a little bit?
I believe so.
I think because beautiful women in the ring.
Yeah, I think we ran into Carlito during that time, or was that when we were first going in? At some point, we ran into Carlito.
We did run into Carlito. I think it was earlier in the show, but at this time,
we wanted
to take a losing. That took the whole atmosphere. The whole building.
Can you imagine that? Seriously. Undertaker losing, and then they have like a video package, and the next thing you see is all the women in the ring.
The problem is that no matter what match was put in that spot,
right,
the energy was sucked out of the room. That match could have been two roaches in the middle of the ring. No one would have cared.
Hey, don't call Summer Rae that.
Yeah, leave her alone. Let's just thank God that wasn't the match before the main event, because that could have ruined Daniel Bryan's.
God.
But then again,
you talking about Undertaker? Oh, all right.
Yeah, but then again, it could have been the best thing for Bryan, because the crowd is so low. It's only going to go all the way up.
It would have.
Oh yeah, it was perfect.
Everybody. Wait, could you imagine what would have happened if that had been the main event?
What?
Undertaker match had been the main event.
Oh man,
you can't send people home like that.
Really,
cannot send people home like that.
Oh my God,
you would have had people trying to kill themselves. It would not have been. It would not have been good.
They didn't care when Brock killed Roman that one WrestleMania, and they thought Roman was going to go over. People left before the match over.
Because we thought we knew that Roman Reigns was going to win. We thought we knew, but we had no idea.
No.
Yo, I remember that. That was New Orleans or Santa Clara. Yeah, matter of fact, in New Orleans as well. Yeah, very next year they had the sign. People said, if he main event, I'm leaving. I seen so many people leave the building. It was crazy, that whole thing. They did not want Roman Reigns to win, and now they acknowledging the tribal chief.
Right.
Fickle.
Well, I think a lot of it at the time was that they were really trying to push. They were really trying to push Roman Reigns. Like he got over when he was in the Shield, and then they tried to catch that lightning in the bottle and push him to the moon, and nobody was buying it. It was like, okay, we're down with cool silent killer Roman Reigns with the Shield, but now that he's out here, you got him talking, saying some dumb yabba dabba bullshit and other stuff like that, and you know, basically not showcasing his promo skills all that great. You know, then people were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
He for the longest time he was like the guy that couldn't let go of the Shield, like
that damn vest.
Ambrose was able to go into his lunatic fringe gimmick, and Seth Rollins went into his gimmick with the authority, but it seemed like Roman Reigns was still carrying the Shield banner, even though he was the only guy left. And he was the guy that was really just not changing, but the guy that everyone was trying to push to the moon with his relatability to being part of the Shield. And people got tired of it quick. Not to mention that he's kind of a natural heel.
Well, Roman Reigns has proved himself over time, so we know his trials and tribulations of his early part of his career, but he's in a good place right now, right behind The Rock.
Yeah.
This was Battle Royal here.
Oh, yeah.
AJ Lee's your champion, and she made Naomi's to submit with the Black Widow to retain the Divas title.
And then she'd quit. Bye-bye. Actually, no, she's sticking around for another year. Oops.
Yeah, because everybody thought she's pregnant, but which she wasn't.
She kept her mouth shut, said nothing, had her wedding ruined, and left the WWE, and they celebrate her on the way out. As a matter of fact, I still have her book that I rented from the local public library. I get to open it and read it, but I want to desperately.
The one crazy is my superpower.
That's right.
I gotta read that one.
But when she left WWE, Michael Cole on Raw, they never do this. They're like, "Thank you, AJ Lee, for being the longest reigning Divas champion. Good luck in your future endeavors." Man, she must have had some dirt on somebody. So they made sure she was treated well on the way out.
But that's it. All right, main event time. We have your Royal Rumble winner, the Animal Batista, going against the man that won against Triple H earlier that night, Daniel Bryan, and you got your WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Randy Orton. This is a triple threat match. And guys, people were pissed off about Batista winning the Rumble. They wanted Daniel Bryan to be the one to win the Rumble. It didn't happen, but my man, it was a 8 months storyline, and the man won it. Evolution teamed up. They tried to take my man out. They tried to put him through a table. They sent him to the back of the locker room. The place was booing. He came back. Man won. Man did it. Did everything he had to do.
Yeah.
There's still a threat that Bryan wouldn't win this match either. So it made it very compelling as a fan to watch, as a Bryan fan to watch. And there's another tremendous match full of a lot of excitement and near falls and things of that nature, and high spots, especially the like a neck breaker power bomb combo on Bryan on the announce table.
It was like a Batista bomb into a RKO.
Yeah, and it was a great match, and the finish, Bryan tapping out Batista, tapping out Big Dave. Allegedly, Big Dave not too happy with his run at the time, and neither were the fans, neither was I. He came back in the Rumble looking like a piece of crap with the ugly attire, ugly gear, not being in as much shape as he was, and that's what it was at the time. And then he had a brief feud with Del Rio at the February pay-per-view, and upward and onward to this main event match. Man, people just didn't want it. They didn't want him there, but Dave, he did business. He's the one that did the tap out, and so props to that. He could have just said, "No, I'm not doing it." Have Randy Orton do it,
Yep.
And it would have been fine. But Big Dave took it, and that was a cool thing. Dave would stick around another month or two, do a little Shield Evolution feud, and and Wrestlemania, one of the best ending moments of WrestleMania ever. It helped eclipse the poor memories of another It Doesn't Matter podcast reviewed show, WrestleMania 20, with a similar fanfare 10 years before that. Yep. So this is your new best moment of all time, which would be eclipsed, in my opinion, by Kofi Mania 5 years later, featuring Daniel Bryan again. So this man is all over the place.
Right. They will hope will be eclipsed by Cody finishing his story.
Perhaps. But Daniel Bryan winning the championship here. Yes, chants up the wazoo. Yes, chants all over New Orleans, all weekend long, all night long, all next day long. Man. It was epic. It was such a special time. And flash forward a couple years when they went back to WrestleMania in New Orleans again, we hope for the same kind of love and support and affection and Wrestlemania. It did not happen that year, but let's remember New Orleans for being a great host for WrestleMania 30, a great show full of moments and matches. Great WrestleMania. Great WrestleMania.
Yes.
They start off hot. It cooled down. It picked back up. But the man won. We got what we wanted, and that's how it's supposed to be. You send the people home happy.
Well, somebody went happy because BDC got some beads.
Well, these beads were actually for flashing my championship belt that I had in New Orleans.
You showed them the big gold.
Well, I showed them some gold, all right. Yeah, I showed them some gold. But yeah, I had one of the titles, and your boy there was like, yo. Look up. I look up. Show me your belt. All right. Show him the belt. Next thing you know, he's coming at me.
Oh, jeez.
True mother story.
So that's what it's like to be objectified.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
They just love me. They love me for my 10 pounds of gold.
That's right.
Yes.
All right. So BDC, what would you grade this show right here?
So that was my first Mania where I actually traveled out of state. So just for that alone, it gets at least a B. For the majority of the matches were pretty decent outside of the women's match, which kind of just fell in a bad spot, but it wasn't that great anyway. So I would still give the show probably a B. I do agree that Wyatt should have gone over. I think that the way that they built up Daniel Bryan all night was excellent. Especially with, is he gonna come back? Is he gonna actually wrestle? And he actually wrestles, and he goes out and pulls the damn thing out. I think that was good. The Hall of Fame class was great, which made it work as well. Kind of all ties in together. So yeah, I'd give it, I think, a B.
All right. Plato, what about you?
I'd actually give it A minus. It was that well started from the get-go, and then that way it ended. The shockers that took your breath away. Maybe I wasn't in agreement, but then when John broke it down and gave you the scenarios that happened years later, it was perfect. It was meant to be what it was. So solid A minus, close to A, not an A plus, obviously. That's for a different one that we'll be reviewing down the road. But yeah, great pay-per-view, great matches. I could do without the way the Divas were treated in that time, but hey, I liked AJ Lee back in the day too, so I'm glad she prevailed. Another storyline where another authority figure is trying to keep the man down. Well, woman.
Vicky.
Excuse me.
What?
And yeah. A minus for me, brother.
Strap, what about you, buddy?
Still, man.
You know, if we had to create a custom scale here, if you will, one night only on a scale of the highest compliment being it does matter to a mid compliment of it sort of matters to the bottom of the barrel worst rating of all time of this show doesn't matter. This show, it does matter.
It does.
What a scale it is. WrestleMania. Hey, I'll agree with both of you guys. You know, I'll give it that A minus, B plus. Was it like up and down? Like, was everything great about it? No, not necessarily. Was there a lot of great moments? Absolutely. Were there some clunkers in there? Yeah, but we've seen some worse clunkers in WrestleMania history. But the highs were really high. The lows were not that low. So it's still, and being there in person, of course, it always skews things, but I'll let it skew it, and I don't care because WrestleMania 30 in New Orleans that weekend, that period of time in my life, the Hall of Fame, one of the best WrestleManias of all time.
I agree.
The end.
To me, I give it a B+. I enjoyed New Orleans. I enjoyed the show. The Hall of Fame was amazing. It was a great time, but it was a solid show, and I would watch this again and again and again. Mm-hmm. And for everybody who haven't seen it, check out Brock breaking the streak. And I'll also say watch Daniel Bryan, both matches. Watch the Ultimate Underdog. It was a good showing. That man had a lot of heart. He deserved it. He worked his ass off for it.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, you can't forget about Bray Wyatt and John Cena too. That's another good match right there. So I enjoyed good show overall.
Like the great Cool Ray would say, rest in peace. Sign me up.
Yep. I'll be watching his documentary next week.
Cool Ray?
First.
Yeah. I'll let you know when I release the first trailer.
I'm confused. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Lordy.
I'll watch
next week.
Yes.
Next
week on the It Doesn't Matter podcast.
Yes.
Life at Times.
But next week, we're going to talk about WrestleMania 17. Billed as the greatest WrestleMania of all time.
Ooh.
I'm glad they built it.
This is the one that you have never ever seen again.
It wouldn't be a gain. It would be an entirety. But yeah, I haven't seen the whole thing. So yeah, we're going to watch the show and we're going to do a watch along of the TLC match. Since the fan voted on it. So we're going to do that as well too. So it should be a good time. And I'll give you my honest answer.
Well, we hope you'll give your honest answer. We would not like a dishonest answer from you.
Yeah. Feeding us them untruths. That's what's up.
If it's
How did you like it? I thought it was great.
That sucked.
Let me ask you all a question. I seen something on Facebook today. What's the worst WrestleMania of all time?
The one with Bam Bam Bigelow and LT at the end.
You should divvy that question up between the ones you've been to as the worst. Pick one of the worst that you were in attendance for, and one that you watched on TV. You know.
Yes, that's true. It depends, man. You're going back eras where we weren't even around to the times where we were actually steadily watching.
Look, man,
it's rough. I'm not gonna put the pandemic one in. You can't.
Yeah, we'll give that.
You can't fault. Yeah, they get a pass.
Yeah, you really can't.
But off the top of my head, I can't think of anything right now.
Well, yeah, I can't really. Well, I was about to say I can't really.
I was gonna say WrestleMania 8. People was like, "Oh, you got Flair and Savage." I'm like, "Yeah, but the show overall wasn't all that."
Show was trash.
And Piper and Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels and Tito Santana, Jake the Snake and the Undertaker.
That match wasn't all that. You have 1, 2, 3 good matches on every WrestleMania, but I don't think that people say the worst WrestleMania is WrestleMania 9, and I actually enjoyed 9.
I like the scenery, but a lot of clunkies.
WrestleMania 1, I've watched 1. I mean, it's kind of unfair. Those are the early manias. You can't really, say those in a way. That
wasn't really like the blueprint of what's really going to go on.
The first WrestleMania I've seen one time. Don't remember much about it. WrestleMania 2, I don't think I've ever seen in completion. WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania 4, tournament style. There's like nothing. Aside from the main event, there's nothing to revisit there. They're all crappy tournament short matches with terrible finishes. So, and I wouldn't want to watch that, but I don't think I ever did either. So, but as for being in attendance at a WrestleMania, it's kind of skewed because some of the long WrestleManias have made you look back and say that sucked, Orlando was wicked long. 35 in New Jersey was super long.
Yeah.
But as for the booking or enjoying a show, I mean, I would just say WrestleMania 34 in New Orleans, because even though it had one of my favorite matches of all time, the Ronda Rousey and Kurt Angle and Triple H and Stephanie,
Yep.
Top 5 WrestleMania matches for me, the second half of that show fell off a cliff, and it was absolutely terrible. Ended terribly. The crowd went home miserable and unhappy versus, Yeselmania. So I would say that's the worst one I attended. We're only doing worst ones, right?
Yeah, worst ones.
Worst ones. So I would say worst one I attended, WrestleMania 34. Worst one on video. I don't know, I'd say WrestleMania 4. That's what I would pick.
34. Yeah, we was there in New Orleans, and I remember that because the escalators didn't work. So we had to walk up.
Yep.
Like 4 or 5 flights?
Yep.
Oh my goodness, man. You think I was drinking that time? Hell no, I wasn't drinking that time. I was gonna keep getting up to walk all the way back up there. It was bad. You probably sat lower level, but we was up top. We was nosebleeds this time around.
Yeah. We were literally if memory serves me, our view was obstructed.
Jesus.
Yeah, so when Shane climbed up, whatever, I think, did he climb up something that night? Shane McMahon.
At 34, I don't think so.
No.
Who did he fought though at 34?
He was in a tag match with Bryan versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at New Orleans, right? 34.
Yeah, didn't Shane McMahon climb up something?
I don't think so. He did that for the Miz at 35. But,
I remember Braun Strowman
right.
looking for his partner. Braun Strowman looking for a partner, found Nicholas.
Oh yeah, Nicholas.
Loser.
that was a shit. That's how you shit on your tag teams.
It's supposed to be Bobby Lashley.
Oh God.
And he would have a terrible run for a couple of years, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Anywho.
All right, Dom. Shut it down, baby.
All right. Well, guys, it was a good show. A great WrestleMania 30 Triple X. But next week, we're going to bring you WrestleMania 17, the greatest WrestleMania of all time. That's what y'all gentlemen say it is. And I'll let you know about that next week. But till then, I'm the Notorious One. I am Dom. I'm here with Poppy Platino. I'm here with Strat Facts. I'm here with B to the mother effing DC. Say that 3 times. Woo! But we will see you next time. Boom.